Hey. Okay. Hey guys. I'm your boy, the Crypto Scout, and I got a very interesting video for you right now about Tidex Coin. So, if you don't already know, Tidex Coin or token, is a exchange utility token, and I'm specifying it's a exchange utility token because there are other utility tokens out there, but the exchange utility tokens are kind of common right now. Tidex is, I think, the seventh to the ones I know of, with many more to come. It might be the sixth, but the other ones I know of are, let's see, we got COSS Coin, so just COSS. We got Kaaba is already out, Kaaba. We got Binance, the Binance Coin, and we got KuCoin Shares. And I think I already said Huobi Coin, right? Yeah, Huobi token. Okay, so I want to point out that Tidex is brand spanking new. It went up just on February 22nd. You can see here it's brand spanking new, and it just shot right up right away from only 16 cents all the way up to nearly $1. Wow. And since being at nearly $1, it's just steadily gone down. It was really close at one point. It's 91 cents. And I got in, I'm not going to lie, I did invest a little bit right away, somewhere around here at the 70 cent something range. And unfortunately, it's already gone down from there. However, I still want to point out that this is an excellent time to buy. And so I'm going to show you, before even going into some of the actual basic information you need to know about exchange utility tokens, let's just look at the competition, because the competition does tell you a good amount about where this coin can be expected to go. So first off, Binance Coin, a coin that basically just shares the fees. So in other words, all the people using the Binance exchange, if you have Binance Coin, you're basically not having to pay nearly as many fees, if any fees at all at this point, compared to the rest. Now this one launched all the way out in July, and you can see it came out during a point of consolidation, and right now, if you didn't already know, is definitely a point in consolidation right now, because things just are still kind of stabilizing from this insane time we had in late November, December, January. And so as things are recovering, we're basically entering just a higher level in consolidation, because everything's more expensive. There's a whole lot more money in all markets right now. So anyways, it started at 10 cents, and wow, its first initial hype. So let's look at this area here. How long did it take? July, August. It took almost a month. And then it shot up from all this time. It was very low, and it exploded up only about half a month to a month later. I mean, that's huge. After that, if it went from 10 cents to $2 that fast, that's a 200% return. I probably would have sold it or something at that point. Notice the total supply is pretty high with Binance Coin. And let's go ahead and look at all again and just point out that its all-time highs were at $22. So if you got in before this and you hodled through all of this, you would have had insane returns. But if you had bought during this consolidation period, which lasted a long time up until December, it wasn't until December that this thing started taking off, you would have gotten in at a really good price, because even now it's $10. Okay. So that's one of the biggest competitors, because a lot of people use Binance. It's a very popular exchange right now, but the coin itself doesn't have a lot of purpose other than that. Whereas KuCoin Shares is a big contender, because its utility is actually paying you out in crypto dust. And I say crypto dust meaning they pay you tiny amounts in a whole bunch of different cryptos that were traded that day. Let me show you what I mean exactly. I actually have it brought up here somewhere. Here we go. Here's the calculator. So let's say you've got some money, and let's say you buy 500 KuCoin shares. And they've got a nice calculator right here on KuCoinShares.com. It says if you have 500, every day you're going to be getting about a quarter. Not very much. Consider that cost $2,000. Let's go ahead and double that to 1,000. So let's just say you spent a whopping almost $4,000. You're only getting about 53 cents. On the bright side, it looks attractive because they're giving you so much dust in all these different things. And that's daily. So, I mean, after, I don't know, a year, if you multiply that by a year, let's go ahead and do that for you actually right now. Yeah, so let's go ahead and just say 365 times 5311. So it's only $200 worth, but a lot of these things are going to go up in value at some point. I'm not going to try to predict when that might be, but I mean, they're definitely giving you a lot of rewards for having KuCoin coins. So KuCoins is definitely an interesting contender. And just looking at the basic information of what happened to it after it launched in October, much farther after Binance, by the way. It was during consolidation period again, and it's doing exactly what we're seeing with Tidex. Started at like nearly $1 to 80, high 80s, 90s, wow, almost $1. And then it started going down, down. It's going to keep going down maybe. Oh, wow, that is rough. Maybe I should sell mine now. All the way down to 40-something cents. But if you held out till December, January, my God, these returns are astronomical. If you had been smart enough to be paying attention during all that, of course. Nonetheless, so if you had sold now, way after all this amazing period where you should have sold, you would still have a reward, which is pretty impressive. And right now is a good time to buy, actually, just for the record, for KuCoins as well, which have a pretty cool reward system, but it's not a lot per day, but just keep in mind a lot of those rewards can go up in time. So Binance Coin is at $10. I'm going to look at COSS now. COSS has been around since, I think, roughly about the same time. September it came out, only 4 cents. Let's see, that's probably because it's got, there's 104 total supply. Max supply is 200. Interesting. Let's look at KuCoin's total supply. It's much higher. Ah, interesting. They're pretty similar. Just KuCoin's has better marketing and has a much higher market cap, as you can see. It's ranked 59. Let's look at COSS. Are they even in the top 100? No. Wow, yeah. COSS is ranked 251. That's why it's worth a lot less. But nonetheless, if you had gotten in at some point in time during this consolidation period under 10 cents, you could have sold at $2.73 or somewhere around $2 at the very least. So, and if you sold now, you'd still be at about 500% gains. It's pretty good. All right, let's move on down the line. Let's look at Huobi now. Huobi token, $2.18. Got a total supply of 500 million. Circulating supply right now is unknown, and the market cap is unknown. It's only been around since February, the beginning of February. So Huobi is a direct contender to Tidex. And as you see, it started off at more expensive than Tidex, and it went down the first few days. And then it started coming back up, and then popped. Look at that. That is almost a whole dollar in a day. Wow. The 12th to the 13th, it just popped up. That is impressive. Okay, so I expect Huobi to start doing the same as some of these other exchanges. Now let's look at Tidex again. And circulating supply, unknown. Market cap, also unknown. But look at this. Total supply is only 10 million, guys. There's a max supply of 100 million. But total supply right now should be close to this. And so if we're nowhere close to this right now, then that means our market cap is actually really low. And thus, you can see right here, our rank is Rank is 1266. So this thing is off the radar, guys. No one is talking about Tidex coin right now. And again, it's less than like a week old. It's literally, well, okay, it's a little older than a week. Nonetheless, I'm going to be honest and say I actually filmed this same video you're watching now about a week and a half ago, but the audio is bad. And I fixed this mic recently, so I'm recording a lot right now. Okay, so basically I've shown you the actual competition. For the record, Tidex Coin, Robinhood also just basically help you share in fees, so they reduce the fees. Let me look at Robinhood. How long has this one been around? It's only 17 cents, but it's a little bit more well known. It's above rank 200. So it's been through this long consolidation. Then in January, not in December, but in January, it did go up a little bit in December. January, it exploded. Wow, $1.22 from 5 cents, guys. I mean, these are pretty good gains. And even now, if you sold today and you'd gotten in somewhere in here where it is 4 or 5 cents, you'd still not be upset even today if you missed this amazing period. So it's going up over time. So after all that, think about this. I don't know who said this, but there's some famous quote out there about the gold rush back in the day. And the quote was something like, the people who really made money during the gold rush weren't the miners. It was the people selling the shovels. That's to say, like, the people doing the hard manual labor are kind of gambling with their time, because mining is kind of based on a lot of things that back in those times, at least, you just didn't know. And in today's world, I think, especially with crypto, the mining taking place, not talking about actual crypto mining with your, GPUs and CPUs, but actually just anything going up in value, that is based on the community. And so pointing out good opportunities is pretty much the same. Like, I'm basically shilling this coin. I'm not being paid for this, by the way. I'm not being paid for Tidex at all, but I want to just point out that they have a nice, well-written loyalty program page here. It's at tidex.com/exchange/loyalty. I'll add that to the show notes as well as some other notes about, COSS coin and how you can get their fee split allocation going on. And this, I'll have a link to this. I've got several links I'll share with you guys, but KuCoin's a good way to go, but Tidex, I just have to say, Tidex is brand new. It's off the radar still, and I mean, depending on how much you have, you get bigger and bigger discounts. Okay, so based on the number of tokens you have. So I'm not gonna lie, because I knew about this, I planned ahead and was like, I'm gonna get 1,000 of this right away, and so I'm kind of a little bit invested in Tidex, just a little bit. This is a small position for me at the moment, but I still consider myself very crypto poor, because until I get that Lambo, guys. Nonetheless, I'm not gonna say Tidex is gonna go to the moon or something. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, to be conservative, a good way to bet on the future of crypto is not necessarily investing in any single currency, even Bitcoin included, but maybe investing in the actual exchanges themselves and reducing your fees you pay, because at certain times fees can get ridiculous. That is all good and fine. This is already too old, unfortunately. You can't get Tidex as a Waves airdrop, but Waves is working closely with Tidex. And lastly, I also want to point out that many altcoins, the reason I found Tidex, and I'm talking about it now, is because many hard to find altcoins, I'm going to go to the 200s range here. I'm going to just show you how time and time again I was finding that find random altcoins. And if you look at the fees, if you look at the prices here and you order it by price, you're going to find that Tidex is usually on the lower end, but they are here. Like, here's Tidex. Here's Tidex again in the low range. That's what you want to see. Let's keep looking though, because I know that Tidex, like, I was looking at a lot of different coins, and Tidex was always impressively like kind of under bidding everyone else. Okay. Oh wait, Tidex is here. There you go. See, that's ridiculous. Now, I want to warn you, though, volume, if you're ever using this tool to look at the markets, check the volume 24 hours. If it's a 0, do not bother going there and trying to get those prices. Don't even bother. But if you see any volume at all, I mean, that means someone's there trying to do something. So that's not terrible, but nonetheless. Let's keep looking. I want to find an even better example. Ubic, maybe. Nope. They're hard to get. It's hard to get Ubic right now. Being on more exchanges is a great way of just increasing the value of a coin, because that's what I call liquidity. It's just, you know, how liquid is your coin? You've got to have exchanges to exchange these things, because otherwise, you know, there's no way to. A lot of these coins, unfortunately, their platforms are still, you know, it's a prepaid industry, meaning they do these ICOs and they get money before products are really ready. So a lot of this stuff, like 2018, the name of the game is actually the companies actually doing the work and getting things done, coming up to bat and demonstrating what they've done. So a lot of the coins I'm looking at right now are not, you know, definitely don't just assume they're good ideas. Hey, Spank Chain, by the way, this one's is a funny side note I'm just going to add. I thought it was an interesting project because it was based on decentralizing the porn industry or something, and because there was banks literally trying to make it hard for them to send money. Or no, I'm sorry. 3 different banks were like B of A, Chase, and I don't know the other one, but they were basically not bankrolling a bunch of porn companies. And so it was just difficult for them to get things done, I guess. And so that's kind of the name of the game for them. And just recently, I don't know when this happened, but I saw someone post something on a forum called Crypto Titties. And it's basically a joke off of Crypto Kitties on Ethereum, on the Ethereum network. But yeah, I'm just putting that out there, guys. Yeah, crypto is making raising money easier than it's ever been. Ever. Okay. All right, I'm getting some blanks here. I'm going to skip ahead and just start grabbing ones that are actually good examples. Wow, Tidex is actually high in this category. That's, oh, wait, nope, okay. No, they're just doing a lot for Waves. Waves and Tidex seem to be like partnered somehow, even though Waves, if you didn't know, is a DEX, a decentralized exchange. So it is an exchange in and of itself, and it's a coin for Waves, which is a decentralized exchange. Interesting. Okay, I'm just going to stop there because, yeah, when Tidex does have good prices on a lot of these things, but when there's no volume and you've got a price range like this, that doesn't actually make a whole lot of sense. So obviously if there's no volume, that means that is not recently. So don't be fooled by when it was updated. That means it could be updated, but that means there's, you know, over the last 24 hours, there's been no use of that coin. So that's for Everix. But yeah, I mean, Tidex is a great exchange. I'm going to log into it right now just so you can see how easy it is to use. They have all kinds of crazy altcoins on here. I mean, really a ton of them. And again, the reason I found it is because I was looking for altcoins and where to buy them. And time again, not Waves, Tidex was one of the lowest cost ways of getting it, even though the volume was often low. So if Tidex gets a little bit more volume, I don't know, it'll probably mean the prices all start equalizing. That's probably what'll happen, because that's what happens on all exchanges. The more popular they get, the more they have to regulate the price, because arbitrage hurts the market. So yeah, it's fine if they do that. I just, you know, think they are a great way to go right now. And just like that, I am in. And okay, now I just want to show you guys briefly the actual exchange itself. There's a cool little easy way to display night versus day. I like it like this. It looks a lot better this way to me. Obviously, you've got your deposits and withdrawals, which are your wallets. You've got a whole bunch of coins to search from, and you can just type in anything right here. They don't have Saya coin, it looks like. What else? I mean, GNT. Okay, they got Golem. Yeah. Click that. Boom. You're up and running. They have a whole bunch of stuff to trade it with too. My favorite thing is that they actually have more different trade pairs, because they accept trade pairs of BTC, Ethereum, Tether, one of my favorites, Waves, WUSD, and W Euro. I'm not sure what WUSD and Euro even are. This is a deep rabbit hole, and there is no end in sight for myself, at least. So nonetheless, guys, I mean, you can see all of the trade volume and what the, so I've actually used this a good little bit recently to get my Tidex tokens, and you can see, like, if you're selling or buying, you can see what's going on. So if you put in your buy here, it'll show up over here. Oh, I need to shrink myself. Have I been this big all along? I'm sorry, guys. I'm in the way. Okay. But you can see it right here, right? And so you'll see if you're out of order, basically, if your price you've listed is just way off, then you're going to know it. Like, for example, look at all these people. They want to buy at a ridiculously low price. People want 5,000, over 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 at a ridiculously stupid price. The next people up here are still at a dumb price. If you want to actually get something, you're looking at a lot more. So as you can see, these people up here in the top 3 positions were willing to do more. They're actually committed to actually getting some Tidex tokens. So if you want to do that, you have to look at what the actual volume is, and you have to say, okay, that's the competition. Now, what are the sellers actually wanting? Now we're going to look at the sellers, and the sellers want ridiculous amounts. Like this, the thing is, this guy's selling 200 here though, and these people are all selling like nothing. Okay, so you want to look for someone that's selling a lot at once to actually fill a large order, if that's what you want to do, right? So, you know, here's one selling 7,000. So if you're somewhere close to this price, you're gonna sell quick. So a good way to just actually buy immediately is just find the cheapest seller who will be at the top. The lowest bidders won't even be at the top because they're not going to, you know, get anything pretty much. So the highest payers and the lowest sellers are paired at the top of these 2 charts here to speed you up, by the way. So that's pretty helpful. Nonetheless, I just want to point out this is a super easy to use, relatively simple exchange in my opinion. There's a lot of little things you can take a look at and change up, and I just want to show you one last thing, not this, but this. Yeah, so this is their website, just tidex.com, and I just want to point out, I mean, they have some good goals. Where was it that I said why? Yeah, why choose Tidex? They want to be user friendly, cross-platform trading. That's why you see all those trade pairs. It's because they're doing that. The fees are super low, and if you hold their coins, it's even lower. They're one of the few exchanges that actually has support, which is ridiculous. I think, you know, like Coinbase still doesn't even have support. They really just don't. Anyways, yeah, guys, I think this is a great time to get into Tidex, just because, as you can see, it's bound to go up. It's still super cheap right now, and it's going to get cheaper. I know that there's even more random exchanges popping up in the market. There's one called ETHFinex and CoinMetro coming, and they both have their own exchange utility tokens as well. So if this thing is going to follow what other exchange utility tokens has done, at some point this thing is going to spike up. So as this thing continues to go down, if it hits, what was this, 50, in the 50-cent range, if it goes down that low again, I highly suggest getting in. This total supply is very low. So if this number is still below their total supply, then wow, this price could be manipulated really easily. So you want to be ready for those kind of spikes because they could come. Yeah, so I'm not saying pump and dump. I'm not saying necessarily this is something you need to invest a lot in. Do your due diligence, guys. But now is the time if you want to take a position in Tidex token, because this thing just got off the ground, and timing is really everything when it comes to this stuff. Timing is more important than almost anything. So keep your emotions in check. And that's all for me, guys. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a good night, Crypto Scouts.